They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst.
Hey, as we get started in the podcast, I first want to say thank you for spending some time with us. I know that you have a lot of distractions, you have a lot of things that you can do, but I guarantee you that when you get through this Kim Komando show, oh my gosh, you are going to be so smart. Okay, here comes hour one, but as you know, it's not really an hour. That's what we say in broadcasting because, well, the radio stations have to hear the commercials and you don't. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a really cute, hot pool boy by the name of Claude.
Oh.
And Claude was the subject of smut novels.
Smut novels?
But Claude is now writing the novels. The New York Times, they did a whole story about a South American romance novelist who, in the last year, created 12 different romance novels. But then she found Claude. And guess how many romance novels she's doing a year now?
I'm going to go with 30.
200.
That's not...
She can write a romance novel in 45 minutes.
She's not writing a romance novel at all.
She's doing a whole bunch of prompts.
She's writing prompts.
That's what it is. But one of the things that I thought was super interesting is that Claude apparently gets shy around the spicy parts.
The AI chatbot?
Yes, and that he only wants to do the dirty deed in, say, a bedroom or in a bathroom. When she's like, no, it's a cowboy and a cowgirl on the ranch, and they want to be able to, have sex outside.
I wonder how dirty Claude is willing to go. Because, of all of the chatbots, that's like the most professional.
Excuse me, that's not suitable for me.
Can you please go over to Grok?
Yes. Oh.
It'll do anything for you. Well, Trust me, anything.
You know what's so funny is I've been programming Claude. And so I'm working with Claude. And then I'll ask Claude to do something. And then I post it into Gemini. And I say to Gemini, this is what Claude did. Can you make it better? And Gemini comes back and says, that Claude, he's not with the program today. Honest to goodness.
They're fighting.
Okay. So then I take everything that Gemini did and I put it into Claude. And I say, this is what Gemini thinks of your work. And here's how he fixed it. And then Claude said to me, that's Gemini. He's hallucinating again.
It's like the late night wars. They're going after each other.
You should try that. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's the biggest, it's the best, it's the award-winning show about all things digital. It's called The Kim Komando Show because, after all, I'm America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again. Funny how that works. And joining me, as always, is Andrew Babinski, my co-host. Hello there, Andrew.
Hi, Kim.
And you can find us on over 430 top stations from coast to coast. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Komando, of course, with a K. And you can also find us as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. I mean, I'm just telling you. And you can also find us at youtube.com/Kim Komando, where you should always
comment, like, subscribe. It's really easy. We put the podcast up there. We put clips of the show. Any single time we put something new, you'll get that little bell that tells you we got new content. You go over there if you subscribe. I watch YouTube. I'm on YouTube all the time. I subscribe to all my faves. Just go comment, like, and subscribe.
And a huge salute goes out to all of our heroes tuning in on the American Forces Network Radio, reaching more than 375,000 U.S. service members. And get this, over 200 ships at sea get the Kim Komando Show. I just love that. Isn't that amazing?
So cool.
So you know the drill. Every single day I make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech space so that this way, from this beautiful brain of mine, I impart all this intellect and know-how so that this way you can sound really smart at dinner parties. And we're going to start with a little item from the I Told You So department.
Your favorite department?
Yes. Because do you remember we were talking about the big game?
Yes.
And the Ring ad for the dog.
Right.
And that everybody was just so enamored with it. I mean, who wouldn't want to find a lost golden retriever?
Horrible people. The only people that would not want this are horrible dog hating people.
Yes. And so Ring CEO Jamie Siminoff, 404 Media, friends of our show, they found some leaked emails. And he actually said it was never really about all the pets.
No shocker.
Okay. Everything's all turned on by default. You didn't opt in. These connected neighborhood cameras are an automated AI search network. And so combined with familiar faces, facial recognition database built from your front porch, because again, you put the camera in there. Community requests, police can tap into the network. So you have all three of these together that are forming this surveillance state that was put together by consumers who really thought they were just going to find Buddy and Milo.
What are they going to do with it all?
Sell it.
In the end, to whom?
They can control things. They can see Amazon drivers. They know who's in the neighborhood. They say it's going to help reduce crime. But they're going to know exactly what's happening in the neighborhood. Think about this. What time people get home, what kind of cars that they drive, how many kids are on the streets.
Wow.
I mean,
that's going to be worth hundreds of millions, right?
Yes. I mean, whose front lawn looks like crap that needs to get an ad
right
on Amazon for a lawn seed? I mean, it really goes far reaching. It really, truly does. What do you call a dog that floats?
I don't know.
A good buoy.
What's that? What is this new sound effect we have?
This is Xandra. She has come up with a new suite of sound effects.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a bell every time you tell a horrible joke. Got it.
It's because it's a bell because it's a great joke.
Oh, great.
Yes. Meanwhile, guess who's in court? Mark Zuckerberg. Yes. The question is, did Meta unknowingly addict children to Instagram?
Let me tell you a story. We're at dinner last night. During dinner, we've got the news on playing in the background. Sitting at the table are 3 teenage girls. The story comes on that Facebook knew that it was addictive. They were trying to get teens addicted. It was their goal. There was that one email that said, I wish we could have gotten them when they were younger.
Exactly.
None of them cared.
No.
They're like, yeah, it's addictive. Who cares?
No. But you should care, especially because you have 4 million Instagram users under the age of 13, and that's in 2015. Okay, that's 30% of every kid. And remember, you're not supposed to sign up for Instagram if you're under 13.
No, of course not.
Just saying.
And those 13-year-olds will never find a loophole to get around that.
Meta said that, here's what's coming out, that they wanted to push daily Instagram time from 40 minutes to 46 minutes. So that was actually a quota. Zuckerberg said it was competitive benchmarks.
Okay. Competing with probably Snapchat.
Who already settled.
Yes.
By the way. We'll just settle. We're out.
Yeah, we did it.
Sorry.
Guilty.
TikTok, they said, we're going to settle too. Bye. We don't even need to spend the lawyer's fees. So the plaintiff is 20 years old. She joined Instagram when she was 9. By the time she was 16, she was on the app more than 16 hours a day.
That's impossible.
She said now she lives with anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and Mark Zuckerberg, remember that his kids are not allowed on any social media.
Well, of course. He knows what's the algorithm behind it.
That says a lot right there.
I bet you there's a lot of heroin dealers that don't let their kids do heroin.
Here's some tech updates. If you want to buy a hard drive, guess what? Western Digital says we're out of stock.
Just out.
Okay.
That's not good.
Okay. Think about that. Hi, we're Western Digital. We make hard drives. Don't even bother.
Are they all shipped to AI companies? Is that where they're going?
They say that their entire capacity is reserved for 7 AI companies.
Wow.
And if you are a consumer, they have just a few left. And the prices are going to be going up.
Here's a workaround. Start an AI company. You can get all the hard drives you need.
That's it.
It only costs you, $100 million.
Oh, I have to tell you, well, it's in the next hour. I have to tell you about a company that you never thought would have anything to do with AI. And you know me, I am so good at picking stocks. I'm still holding on to GoPro.
Sure.
This is one that I also missed.
You missed? Oh, great. I thought you were going to say this is the one I finally hit on.
Oh, no. I wish that I did. That's coming up in the next hour. Finally, a neighborhood has sued Google, and they won. A neighborhood. North Oaks, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Google. We're going to have to see you in court.
One of the wealthiest zip codes in America.
Okay.
When I saw that, I was like, Minnesota.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You'd think New York, California.
Miami.
Right.
Fisher Island. Where were they? Newport Beach, Laguna, someplace like that.
We got all this money, pal. What are we going to do with that?
Guess who lives there? Target CEO.
Oh.
Best Buy CEOs.
Okay.
General Mills executives. And they say old money dynasties that people just don't talk about. Estates are about $3.5 million. It was built in the 1950s on land owned by a railroad baron. I don't know who this is. James J. Hill?
Oh, you don't know James J. Hill?
No, do you?
Oh, JJ, we go way back.
Excellent. Residents own the streets.
Okay.
So it's private streets. They have license plate readers at every entrance. They sent Google a cease and desist to get the entire neighborhood off of Street View, and Google honored it. And it's one of the few neighborhoods, I don't know where else it is, but one of the few neighborhoods in the entire country that is not on Google.
So they sent in the Google cars, it took all its video and pictures, and then they just deleted it?
Yes, Google deleted it.
And so when you go to look, what do you see?
Well, here's what's happened. Minnesota content creator Chris Carr, he gets FAA certified. He posts a list on Craigslist and he says, hey, I really want to go to the park in North Oaks. Is there anybody around who I could pay like $10 so I can park my car there? Somebody responds, gives the guy a parking spot for $10. Chris takes out his drone, flies up and down every private street, and the lawns and the no trespassing signs, and he takes pictures of everything on his drone just 400 feet above the air. Submits it off right into Google Maps. Google posts it.
Oh, no.
Google deletes the footage. So he posts more.
Sure.
Okay. So meanwhile, they have spent millions of dollars on private roads, private streets, license plate readers, everything like that. And they have lawyers' fees that have put Google into submission. But a guy with a drone and $10 is able to get all around that.
They can't do anything about this guy, I'm guessing.
No.
But, I mean, he took pictures on private property, get it, but someone let him in. It's not like he jumped a fence. It's not like he took the drone from the outside in. Someone let him in. They're not going to be able to get rid of this.
Could you imagine being the guy who actually responded to the Craigslist?
Well, he needed the $10, I guess. Maybe not every house in the neighborhood is the wealthiest house. There's like, one guy that's hurting.
And everybody's driving by this guy's house going like, loser.
Charleston, you're not invited to the cocktail hour this weekend.
No polo for you, darling. None. All righty, then coming up, we have all your great phone calls, tons of tips, and some bad jokes here on the Kim Komando Show. Every single day, almost 1 million folks get my free newsletter called The Current. It's 5-star rated. It takes just 5 or 7 minutes every single morning. You'll be tech ahead and never left tech behind in the digital dust, because we're going to leave that for other people. You can sign up right now by going to getkim.com. That's getkim.com. So what do you think? Let's start with some phone calls.
All right, fine.
Excellent. Janie in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello there, Janie. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hello, Kim. Thank you so much for taking my call. And I want to tell you, too, that I did read your newsletter this morning. And I am learning so much by reading that newsletter, because I am probably the ultimate untechy person. I really don't understand a lot, actually, of even some of the things you say, so then I Google it.
Oh, okay.
You have to do research to read the newsletter?
Well, you know what? There was one newsletter I read that was talking about VPN, and I couldn't find a definition of it in the newsletter. So afterwards, I Googled it, and now I know.
Virtual private network.
Private network. There you go.
Yes. All righty. So what's going on? And thanks for your kind words.
Yes. Well, I wanted to ask you about home security. And to be honest, I've never really been concerned before about home security. I grew up in a small town in England. It was never an issue. And honestly, I always thought that people's concern with security was a bit exaggerated. Maybe ginned up by the ads that they saw on TV and those companies who sort of, made you feel the fear, and therefore you would buy the product. So, but then that horrible crime, which is still, of course, ongoing against Nancy Guthrie, really made me open my eyes about how vulnerable we are.
We are very vulnerable.
And yeah, and I too live on a street where there's no street lights. Our homes are on acre lots. I don't know what my neighbor's doing. My neighbor would never be able to hear me or anything like that. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, what do I have for security? And all I believe I really have is Doorbird. And that was put in when we put a gate in. But I don't think Doorbird really is activated unless someone presses the button.
That's correct, yeah.
And of course, that guy, who they've managed to see on camera now, didn't press any buttons. He was there to break in. Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking about all of this and wondering what kind of electronic security should I install. I don't have a dog, which is probably the best, right? Because a dog would have heard that guy at the door and woken her up. Right. Yeah. But I mean, can you imagine the horror when you're fast asleep in the dead of night and you see an intruder like that? I mean, it's absolutely your worst nightmare, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and you bring up some really valid points. I mean, just to put things into perspective, when this all happened, it took me about 15 seconds to find Nancy Guthrie's home, her cell phone number, her VoIP number, floor plans of her house, pictures of the inside. Savannah Guthrie actually did a home tour for the Today Show. So, but here's what I'm going to do. Janie, I'm going to put you on hold because when we come right back, we're going to talk more about the security that you need to have in place now. And Janie, you bring up a great point. Nothing sounds like fear, but unfortunately, this is today's reality.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
Hey, listen, if you're just tuning in, we are talking to Janie in Phoenix, Arizona about the Nancy Guthrie case and how it has really opened up a lot of folks' eyes, right, to what's going on.
Yes, that's right. Especially mine.
And so you have absolutely no security at your house? None?
Probably not. I must say, again, I do have a gate that, I have a Doorbird, which will ring me if someone presses the button. But I don't know if that records anything. No. I don't think so, does it?
No. So let's talk about what you really do need. And keep in mind that in my personal relationship, my glass is always half full, or full rather, with unicorns and ponies and flowers and everything's great. Barry, my husband, how would you describe him?
Paranoid and puts up signs.
Oh my God, with signs. We have signs everywhere.
To scare people away. Like he'll have a sign that says no trespassers, and then next to that will be a sign that says, hey, read this sign. He's paranoid. He has more security in your guys' home than I've ever seen in anyone's home.
Okay, but I'm glad we do.
Sure. Okay. I mean, it's a nice comfort blanket.
Well, and because our house was hit by the Chilean gangs, and which is you can go ahead and see the video on YouTube, but we were not taken down because of his paranoia with security and things like that. Because they shut down the Wi-Fi, and it's a $200 gadget you can buy online. You hit a button, and it just turns off all the Wi-Fi in your house, your security cameras for 16 minutes.
Now, let me ask you a question. What about a system that has wireless contacts? Would they be on Wi-Fi, and would those go out as well if something like that were to happen?
It depends. Okay. Some of them are working on cellular.
Okay.
So that jammer that I was just talking about, it's got two buttons. Button number 1 does Wi-Fi. Button number 2 does cell.
So they regardless of what you have.
Boom. Done. And so, so everything in my house is hardwired, which was easy to do as you were building a house. And we also have license plate readers outside. We have perimeter sensors, so if somebody goes around a sensor, it sets off the alarm. We have AI detection cameras, so we can see if it's a person versus a coyote or a dog or something like that.
Now, I hope this is not too personal, but that sounds like super expensive.
It is stupid expensive.
Okay. So for someone like us, realistically, who's not going to be able to afford that level of security, what are we looking at?
It's going to cost you. I mean, so Janie, you have a couple of options. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have the DIY option, is that you put a whole bunch of Nest cams around the whole. But you said you have an acre. That's a lot of land. It's a lot of land.
Yes.
And there's a lot of places for somebody to jump a fence if they wanted to. Okay.
Right.
And there's no lights on the street, which makes it even more attractive. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So what you really need is a professional outfit, and you're in Phoenix. I'm going to share with you who I used, not on the air, and where they will come out and do a whole assessment and tell you exactly what you do need. And with an acre, you're probably looking at least 8 wired cameras, maybe more, that are recording to a local storage and then also uploading to the cloud continuously. And you'll have a TV in your house, is what we have, that shows you all the cameras. I think we have 32 cameras, just to let you know. But you can turn on the TV and you can see what every camera sees all throughout the property.
32 cameras? Barry always has something to watch.
I know. Tell me about it. That thing's on all the time. I'm like, can we just watch something else other than the cameras and Fox News?
But
just one thing.
Let me ask you a question, though. If someone has a company, I have Simply Safe. I love Simply Safe. I think it's a great product. It's easy to install, but it is all wireless. It's
a problem. It is.
Is there a workaround?
Not if somebody has a jammer.
Okay.
I mean, I wish I could tell you that there was.
Sure.
But there is not. I mean, unless it's hardwired because of the jammers that are now in place.
But you would have to have every single element of that system hardwired.
And then you also need battery backups.
Okay.
To make sure that it works. You have to pay the monthly fee, which I don't understand why the Guthrie family did not pay the monthly fee.
Which is crazy, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $5 to $10 a month.
When you have a profile like that, even if it was $25 a month.
But if you don't live in Phoenix, and this is all sounding familiar, is that you want to find a local licensed security installer, somebody who can walk around your property with you, Janie, and say, these are the vulnerable points. This is where somebody could get in. And it goes even a step further. As I mentioned briefly, is that, I wanted to see how long it would take me to find Nancy Guthrie's house. I wrote about this in the newsletter. It did. It took me about 15 seconds. I just typed in Nancy Guthrie, Tucson. You could try to do that right now. Janie, you could type your name in into a website and a people search site, and they probably will find out where you live too. And that's where, I hate to talk about a sponsor, but it's Incogni.
Right.
I mean, this is what Incogni does. They take you out of these databases, the people search sites, which I was so surprised that Nancy Guthrie was in there. And it's not just her, it was her Aunt Annie was in there. I think what's the brother's name is Cameron or something like that. All where and how much the house is worth. Go on to Zillow, other places you can figure out where the room placements, how many bedrooms it is, and then that whole video tour I was talking about. It's our lives, and it's the data that's out there that we have to be careful of. And I don't know how I like going to bed and turning on the alarm. I do, because it makes me feel safe.
Sure.
It does. Makes me feel secure. And I know that if somebody were to cross a line, even just get over a fence, that I know that alarm's going to go off. And you know that the cameras are recording and saving. And if you have a security system in place right now, you need to test it. You need to make sure that you can log in and see those files and see the recordings and to know exactly what's going on. Because, and listen, I'm guilty of it too. I have a few Nest cameras, not at this location, at another location. And I signed on the other day and it was like, oh, well, the garage camera's not on. Well, how come the garage camera's not on? Because some Yahoo who was working in the garage cleaning it out unplugged it.
Right.
Okay. But if I hadn't checked, I wouldn't know it.
Sure.
And so that's why you really, truly, truly need to check. Janie, thank you so much for your call today. Offline, I will give you the name of a local Phoenix company. Pastor Steve in Nashville, welcome.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I have got kind of a unique situation. Well, for me, it's unique. I've just moved to a new area, and I'm working with a little country church that I thought had Wi-Fi when I got there. I have found Spectrum equipment in the building, but Spectrum says it's not their router, not their equipment. But I can't find any other equipment around, and so I was looking. I need Wi-Fi out there is what I'm getting at, and I was looking into some of these portable hotspot type devices, and are they any good? Because I've also got some traveling coming up where I'll be staying in hotels and or airports, and I'm getting a little leery of some of the security or lack of security that you get in some of these places. And I was just thinking about some of these portable hotspots.
Well, so let's go back to the Spectrum router. So is it on? Was it working, or what's the deal with that thing?
Well, there's two router-looking devices that have their name on it, but there's nothing when I go to search for a Wi-Fi network. There's nothing identifiable that affiliates it with the church that I'm working with. There's some from the neighborhood houses that have Wi-Fi, and there's a bunch of Xfinity, Spectrum, whatever, with a bunch of numbers, but there's nothing. Like the church I used to be with had their name on the Wi-Fi, so you could find it as soon as you turned on your device. But this one, I have no idea. Nobody there knows anything about it either.
So what you can do is you just unplug it, flip it over, and then look for the make and the model, the name and the model of this router. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it could be that it's just not turned on. It's just not configured.
But when you call Spectrum, does the church have an account?
That's true. Are they even paying for
it? They do have an account. I have not seen any of the bills to know for sure what's on it. But right now, it's all lit up. I mean, it lights up and it's got the flashing lights. It looks to me like it is working and it's in working order. But
if you kick it and it's blinking, then there's something going on.
But if you're paying the bill, you should be getting the service you're paying for.
Yes, exactly. Of course. So that's why my initial thought was that you just unplug it, turn it over, look at the make and model, Google or ask ChatGPT or one of the other ones, what is the default login for this router? And
okay. I didn't know there was a default.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's public knowledge. That's why you always hear people say like, "Oh man, make sure you change the Wi-Fi password or whatever it may be," because or the router password. Nobody ever does it. No. And typically it's going to be like admin and then admin or admin password. And so, but if you just Google that, it's going to come up and say it's admin, and the password could be like 1 2 3 4 5 6 or something like that.
Okay. Are those portable hotspots any good? Are they worth the money? Because, like I said, I'm doing some traveling coming up.
It really depends if you need it. I haven't really had a need.
Well, what you also can do is you can just add to your phone. Do you have an iPhone or a newer smartphone?
I've got about a 2-year-old Android.
Okay.
So you can do that.
You call your provider, tell them you want a hotspot. It'll be a couple more bucks a month, but then you use your phone as your portable Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I drive home every single Wednesday and Thursday with my kids. It's an hour and 10-minute drive to get them from school home. They can both stream on their tablets while I'm streaming on my phone, all at the same time for the entire drive.
Yeah, so you don't.
And it doesn't lock up or jam on or anything?
Never.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't need that. That's, those devices, they were like, 5-10 years ago was something that you really needed. But now your phone has the capability to be that hotspot. And, the idea of buying a hotspot, I don't think that's really necessary. But definitely figure out where that router's going to.
And call us back. I need to know the end of this. Why are there routers there? A mystery routers at a church. Sounds like a horror film.
Bum, 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 bum. All right, here's a great thing I did the other day. I picked up a little part, and I was like, I wonder what this part is for. It's like this little black part with like things coming out of it. And I don't know where it came from. I don't know if the dogs, chewed it off with something or whatever it is. And I just took a picture of it. Actually, I didn't even take a picture. I just fired up ChatGPT and camera mode, and I said, what is this? And then Chat came and said, can you zoom in a little closer? Can you turn it around? I turn around, and it's like, oh, that's the part to your seatbelt from your car.
What was it doing just laying around?
I think because I put the dog in the car, and maybe the dog, Bella chewed it or something. And
Your
then chewed
dogs are eating your seatbelt?
Yeah, I got to feed them more often.
That's pretty impressive of Chat to be able to identify something after it's been chewed by two massive golden retrievers.
They are so massive. They're so massive. Hey, more of the show still coming up. Kim in Chicago, Illinois. Welcome aboard. What's going on?
Hey, Kim. Nice to hear your voice. I got to tell you really quick, I used to listen to you back in like the early 2000s when my son was little. And as he got older and he got busier, life gets in the way, and I wasn't listening to the radio as often. My son just turned 30, and I happened to stumble across listening on WLS radio here in Chicago, and I heard you, and I'm like, oh, Kim, oh my gosh, this is great. And I started tuning into you. Your program's broadcast on the weekends here in Chicago. And it's been so nice to hear your voice again.
Thank you.
It's
That's
like
sweet.
a nice little being reunited again.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So what a great story. So what's going on?
So I read your current every morning. And a couple weeks ago, you featured a story about a veterans hospital that is using virtual reality as like therapy.
Yeah, in
for
Long
patients
Island.
with,
Yes.
with PTSD. And my mom has dementia, and she's in memory care. And when she was younger, she really enjoyed watching birds. She liked going for walks in the woods and things like that. And I thought, after I read that article, boy, wouldn't it be kind of cool if virtual reality could be something that my mom and I could do, as an activity. I could put it on, and she could do that for a little while. And so I did some research, and I am ignorant about virtual reality. I've never tried virtual reality. I don't even know where to start with VR.
Oh, it's a great idea. It's really a fabulous idea. Is that basically you have the Meta Quest, and the Meta Quest 3 is the one that you want to buy. The 2 is only going to have support between now and the end of the year.
What do you think about the Quest 2?
I would go with the 3.
Okay.
It's completely standalone. You don't need a phone. You don't need a computer. And then there's a VR app called Nature Treks. And it gives you forest and beaches and wildlife. And I'll tell you, this stuff is really wild. I actually bought a VR headset for my husband. And I was walking around, and there were times when I was walking like on a skyscraper, and I was like, because I thought I was going to fall off, And then I'm like, God, afterwards you feel like so stupid because you're like, I'm standing right here. Okay.
It's crazy. There's a game my kids have on the MetaQuest where you walk out on a wood plank above a New York City street. And I got terrified, and I got down on the floor and I grabbed the plank that wasn't even there.
I wouldn't even try that with my mom. She's afraid of heights. No.
No, keep her feet on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be pleasant, not terrifying.
Now, there is a VR app called Wander, WANDER. And I bring this up just because your mom could go back to her hometown. It's like Google Street View, but in VR. So she could walk around where she used to walk around. And if there was like a favorite vacation spot, you could take her there.
Oh, wow.
And that would be really amazing to see if that might spark something in her.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something just to kind of spark, and just every time I come over, hey, Mom, we'll put it on, and she can, like you say, go for a walk in the old neighborhood, or catch butterflies, or watch birds, or whatever she's in the mode for that day. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think it would be perfect. I would get the Quest 3, look at Nature Treks, and then also Wander, and then AARP has a free one called Alcove, and that's ALCOVE. What a great idea.
I love it.
I love that.
I'm sure. I think it's going to work too. It's going to be so helpful.
Kim, after you get all set up, call us back. Let us know how it's going. I don't know if you saw this, but a 15-second AI video of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting on a rooftop just set the internet on fire. It's so real that Disney, Netflix, and all the others, they are just fighting back with a ton of cease and desist letters. But the big question is this. Is this the end of movie stars? And plus, how would you like to go out to eat to a fancy restaurant for free? They're called mystery diners, kind of like mystery shoppers, but for food. So you definitely don't want to miss that. And I just have some of the best phone calls this hour. Truly, you're going to love them. So it was a big, big week for NASA this past week. Did you hear what happened, Andrew?
What happened?
Well, we put humans on the moon in 1969.
Okay.
This past week, it became official that astronauts can now take their iPhones to the International Space Station.
They couldn't take them before?
Nope.
They even on airplane mode?
They were afraid of lithium-ion battery fires and things like that.
So what changed? Why can they do it now?
They probably are carrying one of those little fire bags like everybody else.
Do they have this is maybe a stupid question. Is there cellular signal?
They have internet.
They have Wi-Fi, but is there a cellular signal up there?
I don't think they're cellular, but
Nobody's taking a tower and shooting it up that way.
Could you imagine? I wonder what the first bathroom selfie is going to be.
Hopefully nothing's floating.
Gosh, I hope they don't drop their phone and it breaks, because that Apple Care phone call is going to be out of this world.
A long distance.
It
can't fall. It can't fall. There's no gravity.
Oh, that's true. So that joke was just bad all around.
Right. Thank goodness this is just a rehearsal. We'll take that out of the real show.
No, leave it in, because you know what? I think it's still funny. I think it's hilarious. I think it's just one of the best jokes ever. Well, maybe not. Because after all, it's a pretty tough standard. I'm Kim Commando, America's beloved digital goddess, and you just found the nation's best, biggest, award-winning show about all things digital. And you can find me and Andrew Babinski on over 435 top stations from coast to coast. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for Commando with a K, of course. And you can also find us as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're more of a video type person, you can go ahead and subscribe and follow at youtube.com/Kim Commando. Every single day, it's my labor of love. I visit all these websites. I talk to industry insiders, even my hacker friends, to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech space. And here are some things that you need to know about. And these are also little fun facts that you can use to impress your family members and friends. And you don't even need to give me credit. And we're going to start with Toto. What do you think of when I say Toto?
The little dog.
The $7 billion Japanese company, known for those fancy toilets.
You didn't let me finish. The little dog that sits outside the $7 billion Japanese company known for those fancy toilets.
That's right. Now, here's what's so incredible about this is they have developed this expertise in ceramics for the toilets, right?
Sure.
And putting electronics in the toilets.
We don't need electronics in our toilets.
I love my Toto toilet.
What does it do?
I walk up and the little seat opens, the light comes on. It's like, oh, hi, Kim. It doesn't say that, but I feel like it does.
Like I said, we don't need electronics in our toilets.
Now, ceramics, it's crucial for memory chip manufacturing. You have to follow me on this. Ceramic technology holds the silicon wafers stable at low temperatures during chip production. Okay. This is called cryogenic etching. This is something, you're going to go home talking about this, Andrew, and all the girls are going to look at you and go, Dad is amazing.
I'm here right now and I don't even understand what's happening.
Okay. So basically, they've been making these electrostatic chunks since the 1980s using what they've learned by making toilets.
So to manufacture chips,
you need
ceramics in the manufacturing process.
Yes.
And they make the parts that make the parts.
So Toto, this advanced ceramics, is less than 10% of their total revenue, but makes up 40% of their profits.
Because it's dirt cheap to make, and they sell it for a gazillion dollars.
Their stock is up 60%. Not because of toilets, but because of artificial intelligence.
Because they're breaking some toilets in the back and turning that into computer making parts?
Isn't that incredible? I thought I was just astounding. They're projecting a 30% or more revenue growth over the next 2 years. They have a 5-year competitive moat. Nobody else can catch up to them.
But this has a lot to do with the AI companies, correct?
Yes.
And that the chips are in more demand than they were ever before.
All right. So Wall Street, they're all sitting there looking at, oh, NVIDIA is great and AMD is great. And, well, Intel's not doing that great. But so all the great is there. But meanwhile, Toto's profits are flush with cash.
Don't encourage her.
Let's move on to Samsung. You loved your Samsung phone.
For about an hour and a half.
Is it still sitting in a drawer somewhere?
I sold it.
Oh, you did?
I never told you that story. So if you don't know, I decided, you know what? I want something different. I'm going to switch from an iPhone to a Samsung. So I went and got a brand new Samsung and it just stunk. So I had to go back to an iPhone. I had to buy out because I got get the phone for $11 a month or whatever. Or it was actually free, but because I was canceling it, I had to pay for it retail. It was like $1,300. So I went to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, and I was going to sell it for $500. Somebody could get a brand new phone. What did I have it? A month and a half. People, I meet them at Fry's, which is a grocery store here in the Valley. They hand me the money. I hand them the phone, and there's a crack on the screen.
Oh.
And I was like, no, it must have cracked in my pocket on the way over here from my keys.
Dummy.
And they had driven like 40 minutes to buy this phone. And I felt so bad. And I was like, you know what, just take it. It's a broken phone. It'll get you by until you get, and they're like, no. I'm like, please just take it. And the guy goes, how about I'll give you $50 for it. I said, sure, it's a broken phone. Go ahead. Next day I get a message. There was a protective glass on the phone. The phone's not broken at all. That's what was cracked.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, oh, thank goodness that it wasn't a broken phone. And the guy's like, come to my work and I'll give you the rest of the money.
How much money was it?
$450.
Wow.
I know.
Oh,
there are still good people in this world.
That was, you know what? That's a great story. I'm surprised you didn't tell me that.
I know. I forgot.
Samsung has released the Galaxy Z Flip 7. A 6.9-inch screen folds right across the center. You snap it shut, small enough to fit in your pocket. It's actually pretty innovative.
Are you ever going to migrate to a flip phone?
If it could open up and be a real deal, I think that'd be great.
I just don't want a thicker thing in my pocket, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but think about it when you want to hang up on somebody. Yeah, it's like, boom.
Back in the day, we used to be able to slam the phone.
Yes,
You can't do that anymore.
No,
it's not as dramatic when I'm so mad at you, and then you push a button.
Yes, exactly. The tech rumor mill believes that Apple is now coming out with new smart glasses.
Every company, didn't we learn from Google Glass? Remember when we had Google Glass and it flopped?
I know they called them glass holes.
Nobody bought them.
I'll never forget. I was at a restaurant in Maui. This guy comes in wearing a baseball hat, Maui type shirt, Hawaiian shirt with all the flowers on it. Striped shorts.
Sure. Trendy guy.
Tube socks and black sneakers.
Was he 100?
No, he was like 30.
Okay.
He comes in wearing those glasses, and I'm like, okay, so he's the guy who wears them.
They were like a scarlet letter.
Yes.
And why are all these companies trying to bring them back? It's got to be for the data. It's got to be that you're going to wear these smart glasses around, you're going to record and do everything, ping all these things that's going to send it back to the company so they can sell it. They wouldn't be pushing them so hard.
Well, Meta has come out with something called Name Tag. It's not released yet for the Meta glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine this. I'm just going to buy it just for this because I want to see how it works. So you're walking down the street. I don't know who you are, okay? And I got the Meta glasses on. And it will say Andrew Babinski. And it'll say radio show host. And then it will show me your last 3 Facebook or Instagram posts.
Nobody wants this.
And then, if you're walking down, then it's kind of like those movies where you know who people are just by looking at them. So you'll have like a full dossier.
So you're going to wear glasses all the time so that you can find out what the guy standing next to you at Circle K posted on the internet the last 3 times?
I can look at him and go, that was disgusting.
Cliff.
Did your mother see that, Cliff? Is that something?
I just don't. They are putting so much energy and money in these glasses. Have you met someone in real life, day-to-day operations that is wearing them?
Never.
Thank you.
Never. Also, Apple's coming out with an AI pendant. So this way you can talk to Siri because it works so good.
2 nights ago, we were laying in bed and Lisa had a question. And I said, hey, Siri, and I asked the question. And she said, well, I can Google that search when you're done driving. We were laying in bed. We weren't even driving.
Oh, and wait, there's more from Apple coming. Camera AirPods.
Huh?
Camera AirPods.
You ever want to take a picture of something that's just right next to you?
You can sit here and go, take a picture.
Are they going to be on the front of the AirPod?
Probably.
So what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Again, that's just collecting data. Those cameras are going to be running all the time, 24/7, just collecting data.
Let's see. Did you see Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting on a rooftop over Jeffrey Epstein?
I saw the commercial.
Did you see the video?
Or the video,
viral?
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It looks like a real movie scene.
It's legitimately made, yes.
I mean, I was astounded with this. 15 seconds long, studio quality. Neither actor was involved. No cameras, no crew, no consent. The Irish filmmaker, I guess, is Rayari Robinson, used C-Dance 2.0.
Okay.
That's a new AI video tool that was made by ByteDance. And of course, that's the parent company, TikTok.
Oh, yeah. So they didn't care about permission from Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt.
About everything.
We're China. We'll do what we want.
I know Disney like called him up and said, hey, can you guys stop? And then
or they said, can you sell that to us?
Yes. And then, people at ByteDance like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just issue a press release, tell them we talked. It was a 2-line text prompt.
That's it? Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt fighting on a rooftop over Jeffrey Epstein?
That was it. Yes.
And that's what you got?
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Remember, I'm going to say 2 or 3 months ago, you said, hey, I have access to Sora. And you sent me early access to Sora. Mm-hmm. And I got on and I made a couple of videos and I was like, oh, wow, that's so neat. That's so cool. It stinks.
It does. I used it for a nanosecond and then moved on.
I tried to make something the other day and not even like real people, just like cartoon characters doing something. You can tell it's AI. It's like they have one voice and they just continuously change the pitch for different people. Sora, who owns Sora?
OpenAI.
It stinks.
But Mark Cuban did something really smart though. He licenses his name, likeness, image all over Sora. And every time you want to use him, he puts an ad up for his pharmaceutical drug company. I thought that was really something. So Tom Cruise, he's making a movie about distilling moonshine.
Oh, really?
It's called Whiskey Business.
Oh, wow. What a stretch.
I told you they were only going to get better. I told you this.
They have to. There's no other place to go.
You just don't appreciate me.
No, I appreciate you. Just your jokes are awful.
All right, still to come, we have some great tips about how you can get paid to eat at restaurants, how picks are giving away your location. Of course, we have just the best callers ever here on the Kim Komando Show. Now, you know what February is? It's February Cash Grab.
Oh, yeah, all month long.
That's right, all month long. Every single day for the month of February, somebody is going to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
It's interesting you decided to do a cash contest in the shortest month of the year. Always trying to find a way to save some money.
What is that about?
I'm just saying.
Why did you even have to mention that?
January had 31 days. We didn't have a cash contest there.
Man, so mean. So mean to me.
All right, go with continue with your plug.
Oh, I don't know if I can because you hurt my heart.
I think you can manage.
Go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com every single day for the month of February. Okay. That's still 28 days. That's $7,000.
This is the good news for everyone else. The next time she decides to do it, she's going to pick the longest month just to spite me.
That is true. He knows me. Yes. winfromkim.com. That's where you enter to win. winfromkim.com. So if you ever want to eat out for free, there are places where you can do this.
Where?
Is that you want to sign up for like I Spy CC, Market Force, or Second to None. It's kind of like mystery shopping, but for mystery restaurants.
Do they pick where I go?
Yes.
Okay. So they'll say, hey, do they lay it out for everyone? We need people to go to, I'm just going to Cane's and you sign up and then you get chosen to go to Cane's?
Well, no, first you have to fill out the application.
Okay.
And then say what kind of restaurants that you like to eat at. And you may start at Cane's, and then you may end up at a 5-star restaurant.
Okay.
But you have to build up enough credibility in order to get to that 5-star level.
Now, am I getting my full meal picked for me, or do I pick stuff off of the menu, pay for it, and get reimbursed?
Yeah, they're going to give you a gift certificate.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So you just go in, you order what you want, you pay with a gift certificate or a gift card, whatever it may be. And then they ask for a review at the end. Now, the more expensive the restaurant, the longer the review that they want. And
Right.
of course, they want to know how the service was, how the food is, and all those other good details, and photos too. They always ask for photos. And so, in case you want these sites again, it's iSpy, Market Force, and Second to None. And if you do need those links, head over to commando.com. That's with the K, of course. And then we have links to all of them posted right there.
I might give this a try and a report back, see if I can get one.
You should. You like to eat.
Will they give me a gift card to pay for 5 children?
I don't think so.
Dang it.
See, that if you had 1 or 2, it'd be okay.
I'll just take my favorites. It's okay.
Nice. All right, you stay home.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, so what do you think we start taking some great phone calls?
Let's do it.
Let's see. Tim in beautiful Canada. Hello there, Tim.
Hello.
So I understand that you did an AI experiment. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So
several, but yeah.
Several. So tell us what you did, because it involved what you do. You made like 40 albums in a month and 125 ebooks and.
Right. So that's the most recent one is the albums. I used a program called Suno, which is an AI audio generator where you type in what you want. You describe in a prompt the type of music you want, and you can enter lyrics or style information, and then you wait a few seconds and it generates some alternatives. So I used that, and I just tried to see how far I could push the technology and what I could kind of create as a single artist within a short defined span of time, and what I was able to come up with was 40 full-length albums in a month.
Were they good?
And I think that some of them are highly listenable. Of course, a lot of it is instrumental music, so when you listen to it, you don't immediately know, oh, this is AI, because there's not a human voice in all of them. That's kind of a giveaway. And some of it is interesting. I've come back to it months later and listened through on random, doing work and other stuff, and I've been like, oh, this is cool. Almost when I hear it, I'm like, who made this? And it's the same thing that I kind of tried to do with books before that. I spent a year kind of working on 125 ebooks that they take place in kind of like a parallel universe where AIs have basically taken over human society, which is not such a stretch.
No.
And for each book, they kind of interlink to the other books. So if you start reading one book and you find a topic that you find interesting, you can kind of click through and then go check out that other book and then kind of hop around throughout the narrative universe, like a sort of a choose your own adventure kind of story.
So what prompted, no pun intended, you to do all this?
That was a good joke.
Thank you.
Well, so I've just been, I've had kind of 2 strands in my life. One is working as an artist and a musician and an author for a really long time on my own, and the other is working in technology for platforms and doing things like content moderation and working in policy and working in kind of the side of technology where things can go wrong, when people abuse or misuse platforms to do things that they shouldn't do. So I'm always kind of on the lookout for what are the new technologies and what can be done with them, both on the good side as an artist, but then also on the bad side, how do people misuse this, and what are the pitfalls, and what are the strengths and weaknesses of all these new things. So I've always kind of taken my art, and anytime interesting new technology comes out, I just jump on it and I start kind of plugging in my world, my universe, and just see what comes out the other side. And a lot of times I find, very good and interesting results, and then I find things that are not so good, and I try to talk about those two equally because they're mixed. We can't just separate one from the other. We can't have the good and not have the bad too. They come together.
So you have 40 albums, 120 books. What are you doing with them? Are you trying to make money with them?
I mean, I've put them up, on streaming platforms for the albums, and people can listen to them, on YouTube or whatever. You can listen for free. There's no payment required. For the books, I sell those through a website called Gumroad. That it just lets me control everything kind of in my own little storefront easily.
How much money have you made at it?
I've made, I think, a little over $3,000 in the past few years with it. It's not a huge amount, but when you look at just as, the initial outlay of time and subscription fees for
it's not paying for itself.
AI
at that
services,
point.
yeah. I'm not focused on them. I'm not really on social media. I'm not out there hawking my wares all the time.
When I look at these tools like Sono or Dolly or whatever it may be, my brain does not work on that platform. It doesn't. I mean, it just, it's just I can't play. I can't play any musical instrument, can't carry tune, can't sing, can't do anything like that. Does AI help your creativity? Is it real art or does it take away?
No, it absolutely helps. I mean, it's for the kind of scale of world building and creating stories and narratives and kind of all these different artifacts that link to each other. I would never be able to do that kind of work at that scale without AI. Like, that's something that without those tools, that kind of work for me just wouldn't exist. I simply wouldn't have the time to make, for the albums, it's a total of like 820 songs. That would take me
that's a lot.
An infinite, it would take me an infinite amount of time to come up with all of that. And, some people think that that's bad. Okay, fine. I respect that opinion. But at the same time, if I can push into new territories and make new experiments and test things out in ways that I've never done before and maybe other people haven't done before, I think there's a lot of value in that. And what I've seen as an artist, I've studied a lot of art history, and every time that there are new technologies that come out, there's always a backlash from the established kind of order, the old guard, the academy, even things like impressionist painting, or when photography came out, or when synthesizers came out in music. There was always a backlash from the people who were established and successful in the old medium, and then the new thing came along and they felt threatened because their work became viewed or valued differently. So I think like what's happening now with AI, there's zero difference for me in what I've seen historically over the past 200, 300 years in art history. So I think what always happens with the new technologies is it lets people make new things that just simply couldn't exist before.
Just real quick. With the 40 albums that you've put up, have any of them connected with people? Is there any one album that's gotten a lot of listens that you sat back and looked at the numbers and went, wow, that's surprising?
No, I haven't had any huge commercial success with the music stuff. It's just been an experiment. For me, it's the thing that's interesting for me is that the music artifacts kind of also start to interlink with the narrative books, and there's like references between all those worlds. So I've seen with my books, for example, where because I'm selling it on a website where I can kind of track a little bit who buys it, or I can at least see if one person is buying more than one because I get an email address. I've had one person come back and buy 40 different books out of 125.
Oh, that's
volumes.
you. So there's your audience right there.
Yeah, just find a billion of those and you'll be super rich.
But Tim, it's a great experiment.
It's interesting.
And if you have any interest in creating any type of music or ebooks, and use Sono, you can use any of the AI chatbots. And in case you want to look up Tim, his last name is Boucher, Tim Boucher.
And Tim, if you ever decide to turn those 120 books into 120 movies, you already have the soundtracks.
That's
so
true.
We're already made.
We're all set. Let's switch gears. Aurora in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello there, Aurora.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I have been getting this green light at the top right-hand side of my phone, and it pops up whenever it wants to. Sometimes I'm just sitting and talking with people, it'll pop up, and then I noticed that phone conversations, it's always popping up. up right now when we're talking. So anyhow, I touched it, and it turns out it's a microphone. Mm-hmm. Is it recording me? And the other thing was I noticed the Gemini will pop up whenever it wants to, and that microphone pops up as well. Am I being recorded?
They're just tracking you. They're listening to everything that's going on. And it could be like, for example, you're on your phone, you're using your mic, and so that's a legitimate use, right?
Well, I mean, like I'm talking to you, I'm not on my speakerphone, so I don't think I'm using a mic. Am I?
Well, yeah, if you were on speakerphone, hands-free device, whatever, you're going to be using that same part of the phone that is the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I'm not on speakerphone now.
But you're still using the mic.
That's how we hear you.
Yeah, you're still using the mic. So
I got it.
Touche, Aurora. Love you for that. You know what? You and me, we ought to go out for a cocktail because I got a feeling we'd like each other. So here's what you have. What you want to do is look at mic permissions. Because if it's concerning to you that thing's just popping up willy-nilly, is that you go through your settings, your privacy, and you want to look at every app to make sure that it doesn't have access to the mic that doesn't need it. Like notoriously, there's a flashlight app that's been downloaded a gazillion times. Okay, and which, by the way, everybody have a flashlight built into your phone. You don't need an app for that, but it turns on the mic. Okay. And so it's collecting that data and then it's selling it to who knows who. And then Apple just settled for $95 million. And I think what Google was $68 million, which is really going to prove a lesson to them.
Oh, yeah. Bankruptcy is around the corner.
Because when you're making $1.4 trillion and somebody gives you a $68 million fine, you're like, yeah, I'm better pay attention to that, right?
Right.
So what you want to do is just look at the Apple, look at the mic permissions that you have going on. The big offenders are Facebook, of course, Instagram, TikTok, any shopping app, any free game, anything free probably has that mic. And then, again, it's listening to your conversations. So that's why, for example, you'd be talking about something and then suddenly you get an ad for it and you're like, wait, where did that come from?
Oh, yeah, they're listening.
They're listening all the time. That was so good.
It was great.
Hey, stay right where you are. We have more of your great phone calls coming right up. Let's see. Tom in Seattle, Washington. You're up next. Welcome aboard, Tom.
Well, thank you. I've been listening to you for so many years, and I thought I would reach out for a problem that you might be able to know because you can network with a lot of things I never could come in touch with.
Okay, well, lay it on us.
So I'm with volunteers in public service with a Linwood Police Department. We have shifts we go on to every day with 3 to 4 hour shifts, 2 people in the car. One person's responsible, like the scribe, to write down the narrative, whatever comes up, whatever we see.
Okay.
Well, some of us, including myself, have absolutely lousy penmanship. I still do cursive.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I think we all have lousy penmanship now.
I gave my fiance a Valentine's Day card, and she said, I'm finally able to translate your writing. It's like chicken scratch.
Right
I should have
on.
been a doctor.
Exactly. I should have been a doctor, but however, I didn't make that grade. What we need is ability to turn in a narrative at the end of the shift. So perhaps voice to text to print. I've looked at a few options, and I don't see anything that just perfectly meets my end-to-end voice-to-text type requests.
Okay.
It needs to be really free or cheap because we're all volunteers. Mm-hmm. Not much.
Are you carrying a phone?
I am.
What kind of phone do you carry?
So, well, we all have at least iPhones or equivalent.
Okay. All right.
And then we have recordings on that, perhaps.
So have you tried voice? Have you tried the voice memos?
Yeah. So it would take, this is the issue, it would take a little bit more than some practice to get that fine-tuned because somebody has to activate the recording, and then we need to transfer that to text, and then we do the text to the printer. We don't have access to the intranet at the station, so it has to be privately. Yeah. We can't, because the firewall is huge. You can't get into that.
Okay, what you could do is because you just said, like, you have to open up the app, you got to, translate it or, put it in, transcribe it rather into text, is that Apple has something called shortcuts. And I don't know if a lot of people haven't really tapped. Have you ever tapped into shortcuts?
Yeah, I messed around with them.
Okay. And so it's kind of like you could program your own phone to do certain things. And when you hit a shortcut, it would start recording. It would put a time and a date stamp inside that file. Okay. It would it would transcribe it and then drop it into a notes document that from there you could have it save as a PDF and then print, or just print from the notes file.
I like it.
And that would be, you could have it triggered by a physical button on your phone.
Oh, that's true too.
Exactly. Right, Kim?
Yeah, you can. Good call. Yeah.
So one of the buttons on the right or left-hand side of your phone, you can say, instead of this button, turn on the flashlight, I want it to...
Or the back tap.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, you can do a back tap. So when you tap the back of your phone twice, that shortcut would enable, and then you'd be like, I'm Tom.
I know. It would be so wonderful. I was like, this would be the cat's meow if I can get this pulled off. Because it has to be simple, straightforward, and easy to hand off to the next person. We don't need a lot of techie stuff because these people aren't techie inclined, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but you guys are doing a great service. You are. So you're volunteering. So what made you volunteer?
That's a fun question. I was originally kind of had a chip on my shoulder with the local police department. When I investigated what they were doing, what are they up to, I discovered that they're overworked, underpaid, and need a lot of help. So I had some time. I just thought I'd give them some of my time. So I studied up for it, and I applied, and they said, yeah, come on board. Now I'm a team lead.
Are you really? Wow.
Good. Yes. Yeah.
So you went from being a skeptic to a big proponent.
Well, everybody has issues with the police department, especially if you're on the wrong end of the ticket.
Now, I'm guessing when you went from volunteer to team lead, they doubled your salary, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I knew it.
Triple.
Oh, triple? Wow, what a department.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, Tom, try setting up using the Shortcuts app for Apple. And I love that idea of using a side button or back tap, so that this way, if an event does happen, that you're able to just tap, and then everything will just happen according to plan. Thank you so much for your call. Still to come. Hey, your pictures are giving away your location. I'll tell you why that's important and how you can make that stop here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, a lot of people don't know this, that every photo that you take with your phone is loaded with hidden metadata, talking about the date, the camera settings, your precise GPS location. So if you share that photo with anyone, including complete strangers, they can pull that data and they know exactly where you were standing. So here's how you stop it. On your iPhone, you open the photo that you want to share, you tap options, and then you can just toggle off location before you hit send. Pretty much the same deal for Team Android. You're going to remove location data. So do this especially before posting any photos that you take at home, the kids' school, because one picture in the wrong hands can tell someone your entire location, and you don't even know it. Okay, this is wild. Let's say you died. I know, it's not a happy thought. But Meta just patented a bot that can post, comment, and even video chat as you after you're gone. What is this world coming to? And yes, your phone was listening to you. Apple and Google are paying out hundreds of millions of dollars. And I've got the deets coming up. Okay, so if you're sitting or if you're walking in Android, what I want you to pull your shoulders back.
Okay.
Pull your shoulders back. Sit up straight.
Okay.
So that this way, you feel your chest opening up, because so many of us are slouching over our devices that there's a new ailment that it could be affecting all of us.
Which is?
Desk shrimp.
Shrimp? Because your body's all curled up like a shrimp?
Because you're like a desk shrimp. You're all hunched over. And so they say that it also causes additional stress and heartburn, because we're all stressed and we're all like looking like a shrimp. And so what you want to do is sit up straight. Keep that spine straight.
Okay.
It's because this way it's not over krill.
All right.
Oh, I love it when we start this hour off with just a great one-liner, a great little kicker. Don't you, Andrew? Don't you love it?
It's a good one.
And on that happy note, welcome. It's the Kim Commando Show. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. That was definitely not Zandra. Because she only plays happy sound effects.
Yeah, you pay her.
There you go. Oh, does that mean I don't have to pay you anymore?
No, I'm just saying.
That's what I thought.
Love you, Kim.
It's the best. It's the biggest. It's the award-winning show about all things digital. And of course, joining me is Andrew Babinski, and you can find us on over 435 top stations from coast to coast. And you can find us in your favorite radio app, and you can also get us as a podcast wherever you get your podcast. Just search for Commando with a K, of course. And a big hello goes out to all of our listeners in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, and the Space Force in 175 different countries who are joining us on the American Forces Network Radio. All right, then every single day of my life, I make sure they know exactly what's happening in the tech space. And here are some things that you need to know about. And doctors and lawyers, they are just rattled by artificial intelligence. I don't know if you've been hearing this.
They don't like it?
It is totally disrupting professions. I mean, just the other day, I am putting together an LLC for a building that I'm buying. And lawyers now charge $600-700 an hour.
Okay.
So instead of starting from scratch, is that I did the LLC documents using Claude, told it to be a legal expert, and did the lease that was associated with it, be a legal expert, and then I sent it off to my lawyers for their review.
And what did that cost you?
Well, instead of costing me like $3,000, it probably cost me about $400 or $500.
Wow, that's a huge savings.
It is. It is. And then...
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Your lawyers, did they say, where did you get this?
Oh, I know. I told them. I told them right at the top.
And they weren't mad at all that you weren't using their services?
Oh, I got pushback. I did. Because I know one of the lawyers I've known for a long time. He's like, oh, AI, and that's all he wrote back. Oh, AI. And I said, yes, AI, so it's like.
You give me attitude in an email, I can give you email attitude right back, mister.
But today let's talk about medical doctors too. AI is leading radiology scans above human accuracy, diagnosing better than general practitioners. And they say that in the medical profession that AI is generally threatening the loss of a status of being a doctor.
It doesn't matter that you're a doctor. We got a computer that can do it as well, right?
Exactly.
So like a surgeon can't be replaced.
That's different.
But a
just general
doctor,
internist, whatever it may be, the whole idea where, you look at a doctor and go, oh, thank you, doctor.
Right.
Thank you, doctor. I think that's might be waning. The law, they say, is even more exposed because you can summarize case law, perform discovery, writing motions. They share these three traits: the cost of a legal or medical education, extreme, how much money that you make,
a lot,
and prestige. And this is not a temporary change. I mean, Ian was going to law school, and then he decided to change directions in his life, which, I was fine with. And it was probably just, a couple of weeks ago, I said, I'm really glad that you did not go to law school, because all that money that we would have spent on law school, and now you just have AI.
But lawyers aren't going to be obsolete. I mean, there are a lot of ambulances out there that need to be chased. I don't see AI on the streets chasing ambulances.
But the prestige and how much money they're making, and the idea of, oh, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor. I mean, if I can sit there with an AI bot and spend 45 minutes doing an LLC document and then writing a lease that was pretty comprehensive because it's a medical building, right? So it's not just, an office or anything like that. And then sending it to my lawyers and then saving, $2,500.
Right. Which, when you look at the percentage of it, that was like 80% you saved.
Which was fabulous. And then I was really surprised when they came back with the comments. There was like 5 comments.
5 corrections that they said you should make.
5 questions, whether or not this was really what I intended. And then we went back and forth a couple of times. But so if you need to write something with, like a legal document, you should try that first. Meanwhile, When the AI safety chair of a major company quits and starts quoting poetry, you need to pay attention.
Sure.
Okay. Marinik Sharma left Anthropic. That's the team behind Claude, of course. He didn't just give a couple of weeks notice, like, this is a little stressful for me. I need to reevaluate my life, see where I'm going. He wrote a letter that the world is in peril. Those are his words. Not just from AI or bioweapons, but a series of interconnected crises. He led the Safeguard research team fighting AI-assisted bioterrorism. Wow. He says that employees there constantly face pressures to set aside what matters most to chase profits. We appear to be approaching a threshold where our wisdom must grow in equal measure to our capacity to affect the world, lest we face the consequences. Wow.
Or he could be a disgruntled employee.
I think he's definitely a disgruntled employee. But I also think he knows things that we don't know.
Sure. I mean, with the position he held, absolutely.
Okay. Now, maybe there's a little bit more to him because he's ditching his whole job to pursue a degree in poetry. So,
I mean, this could be just a kumbaya moment, or this could be the warning sign of the end, and the apocalypse is now.
All right. And finally, have you ever thought about what happens to your Facebook account after you die?
I hope it just sits there dormant and then gets deleted after a decade.
No, not so much. Meta just patented something pretty wild. An AI bot that would keep posting, commenting, even video chatting as you after you're gone.
No, wow.
Here's how it's going to work. The bot's going to study all your old posts, your DMs, your voice messages, comments to build a digital version of you. Then it's going to mimic your activity, make posts, reply to friends, and even could jump on a video call as if nothing ever happened.
But you're dead. You're not supposed to be on video calls. You're not supposed to be returning DMs. Let me tell you something. Both my parents passed away.
Right.
And about 8 years after my mom was dead, I got a phone call. Guess what it said as the caller ID? Mom. Oh. Because time had passed.
Oh my gosh. And somebody had another phone number.
Someone picked up that phone number and somehow they're calling me.
How did that make you feel?
Freaked out. I thought, what is going on? Is my sister calling my mom's phone? Like all the what ifs were running through my head. And then I ordered it and I answered it and they were like, hi, is Stacy there? And it's just someone who had her phone number who misdialed it for me. A crazy coincidence. But to look down at my phone and see mom gave me a mini panic attack in the moment.
I'm sure.
This is not necessary.
Well, think of the other side. AI might not know when to keep its mouth shut.
Sure.
Okay.
It's reading your DMs. People say a lot of stuff in DMs.
I mean, so imagine you shared something about your kids with your spouse on a DM.
Right.
And then you're gone. And then all of a sudden, the bot's talking to the kids saying, did you ever make something of yourself? Because I thought you were always going to be a loser.
Right. You posted, oh, I got a promotion. Oh, that's great, sweetie. Your dad never thought you'd amount to nothing.
Yes. How fabulous would that be? There you go.
Not necessary.
Oh, man.
We die for a reason.
All right, let's see. Still to come, we have some AI help with meetings. And this is actually a warning that you need to know about. A lot of people don't realize this is going on. We're going to talk about how you can ace a job interview using AI. And later on, is your tech reporting back to China? There's a way for you to check. And then we have all of your great phone calls. You have me and you have Andrew here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, it is the February cash grab. And what that means is that during the month of February, some lucky reader of my newsletter is going to win a $250 Amazon gift card. And it could be you, but not if you don't get the newsletter and not if you don't enter. So you want to go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. What do you think we start some phone calls?
Let's do it.
But our first call is actually pretty interesting. Do you ever feel like you need a PhD in economics to figure out like which rideshare app is the cheapest.
They're not. None of them are cheap. That's what I've found out.
Okay. Well, I was reading about Griffin Lee's 19 years old, and he kind of felt the same way. And what he decided to do was to write an app about it.
Okay.
Right? And it's called Hackney. Griffin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And so what made you come up with this app? What was behind it?
Yeah, so I use rideshare a lot, and I would very often keep checking multiple different apps in order to see what the best price was. So I would have to type my destination into Uber, Lyft, maybe Waymo, and swipe between them to just find what's cheapest. And I thought there had to be a better way. And I would see people around me do that as well. So I made this app.
How long did it take you to do the app?
It took me about 2 months to go from the idea to the first prototype, and then a few more months to get it to work really reliably and get it public out there.
And then did you use AI to help develop the app?
I use it somewhat. So the parts of the app that actually connect to the servers of different rideshare companies are mostly written by myself, but then the sort of user interface of it is mostly written by AI.
That is so cool. So what is the biggest price difference you've seen between Uber, Lyft, and Waymo for the exact same ride?
I think the one that comes to mind is Waymo being about 2 to 3 times the price of Uber or Lyft for a certain ride. This often happens in peak hours, like morning and evening rush hours.
Waymo has always been the cheapest for me. That's really surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that too. That is something.
How did you get permission from all the companies to use all their data in a singular app?
So Hackney is not a app that works officially with rideshare companies.
Okay.
So the users who use it sign in with their rideshare accounts, which are all stored on the phone, and then the phone is talking directly to the servers of each rideshare company. So I've been working a lot on trying to make the app able to interoperate with these different companies.
So after I use your app, I then have to go to, let's say Uber was the cheapest. I have to open up Uber and book my ride.
There's a button in the app that just opens Uber for you and fills in the route and the car type you selected. So you just press confirm.
That's fabulous.
That's really cool.
So how many downloads have you gotten so far?
It's at a few thousand so far.
Wow, that's really awesome. I'm so proud of you for doing this, and it's a great idea because I mean, so many of us have been sitting there saying, "I wonder what's cheaper. Is it Uber?"
Every time,
and you're like, "Oh, what's going on?" Well, now you got an app for that, Hackney. Griffin, and congratulations! I think this is going to be a big hit for you. That's amazing. Jared in Phoenix, Arizona, welcome aboard. What's going on with you?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
You betcha.
Well, basically, I'm looking for some legitimate work-from-home opportunities. I've run into too many scams that just didn't pan out. So I know you are the one to go to for this type of thing.
So what do you like to do? Or what have you done?
I've done a lot of customer service. I've done everything from mining to tattooing, but I'm a single stay-at-home father, and I just want to be able to be home with my daughter and still be able to make some good money.
Do you have any skills in a certain industry?
Tech support, mechanical, anything along those lines. Just customer service. I really enjoy helping people when I can.
Well, a couple of things come to mind. Number one is Apple will hire at-home advisors.
Okay.
And that's full and part-time. And they give you an iMac, paid training. They even give you benefits if it's part-time. It's actually pretty darn good.
Oh, wow.
Pay starts at $22 an hour, $22 an hour.
Gotcha.
And you can apply at apple.com/careers. Amazon will hire customer service reps from home. It pays a little less than that, $16 to $20 an hour. Support.com does remote tech support, and they pay around the same price.
Gotcha.
But
and I love art as well, like digital artwork and things along those lines.
Well, in what way do you like it?
Well, just as far as from website building to digital art creation, any of those types of things.
Well, then if you're really good at it, then you can certainly go to Fiverr and Upwork and freelance.com and then post some skills that you have with some examples or a link to a portfolio, because that's going to be super important. And then people will contact you and say, we want you to do this job. And then you kind of bid on the job. And that may be an option for you too. So maybe what you want to do is start with, Apple, Amazon, some of the established ones. And then while you're doing that, off to the side, start your other gig. That's the digital art. So then when that takes off, then you can kind of just transition over. What a world we live in. Isn't this just amazing that you can do this from your house?
He's just got 3 jobs with one phone call to Kim Commando.
Let's get it going. Come on, Jared. Go, 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 go.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Let's see, Debbie in Raleigh, North Carolina. You're up next. Hi there, Debbie.
Hi, Kim. Can you hear me well?
I can. Loud and clear. What's going on?
I called because I wanted to know, and I heard a little bit today, I have to get my personal information off of the internet. I was a victim of abuse, and I'm a widow. I live alone. And I moved, and now all of my information, I see it on the internet, and I want to know how I can get that removed to help me. I'm a little nervous about, how do they get all this information? Just because you get a new phone or you apply for an electric company service, how can I stop this?
Well, it's been said that the average American has 28,000 data points about them available to be purchased. They know everything that you've purchased, say using that store loyalty card, and they know your driving patterns, where you go, how often you go. They know everywhere your phone goes. You use your driver's license. You go get a driver's license. The DMV is selling those records to data brokers. So
really?
So you have your address, your home address on your driver's license, and now you're like, well, how did that get out there? Because I didn't want that out there, but now it's out there because somebody else sold it. These are big companies. They are billion-dollar corporations. And so, LexisNexis is one of the big ones. They have something called the consumer risk. And you go to, I think it's consumerrisk.lexisnexis.com. We have the address at commando.com. And you fill out a form. And a lot of people are Freaky Friday because they're like, oh, I got to give out my driver's license number. They already have it. Okay. Because it's like, or they want my middle name. They have that. So you fill that out, and then you can get a report about yourself through the U.S. mail. And I got my report, and it was 33 pages.
Wow.
So anyway, the bottom line is that there's all this information out there. So in order to get yourself out, you can go to all these different individual sites, and you can do this yourself, and you can try to opt out. And typically it's going to be hidden somewhere in the terms and conditions of the site or the privacy policies. And then that's where you'll find a link and instructions for you to opt out. And they're going to ask for your more personal information, sometimes a copy of a passport, sometimes a copy of a driver's license to make sure that it's really you, but they will remove you from the database. Now, what Incogni does, and they're a sponsor, that's who you said you just heard about, is that they contact all these companies for you, over 400, and then they will remove you from these databases. And they also put you on a data suppression list. Does it cost money? Yeah, it's about $80 a year, but it is so worth it. It is just so worth it. You can save 60% by going to privacykim.com. They are a sponsor, privacykim.com. Debbie, thank you for your call today. If you need any help whatsoever, just give us a call back. Ron and Grace, I guess we have a twofer here in Kansas City. Hi there, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Kim?
Good. So you must be Ron. Where's Grace?
Hi. How are you doing?
Good. So what's happening?
Well, I had written into you, Kim. By the way, I love your newsletters. You've helped me with so many things, collagen and VPNs and many other things. Whenever I got to look something up, I go there. And if I need to, I write, and then somebody from your staff always gets back with them. They're very helpful.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words.
Anyway, my wrote in for is Grace is got just graduated from college with a degree in HR. And I used to run a large company, and I was talking to the HR manager there, say, hey, can you help out at all? And she goes, Ron, we're replacing our HR department, except for a couple of people, with AI.
Yeah, that happens.
And we're concerned about that and wanted to know if you had any ideas. And Grace is here. She can go ahead and you can go and talk to her if you want.
Honestly, it's just more concerning because I am an entry-level student. I graduated from University of Missouri, Kansas City in December. And so I would be an entry-level employee. And now companies are only hiring HR generalists or someone who is specialized. And so entry-level has essentially disappeared from the HR world because of AI. I mean, it's taken over recruiting and hiring, administrative tasks, and people analytics. And so now the only thing left for me is to just continue to get more certificates.
Have you got certifications in anything like Workday or ADP or SuccessFactors, Bamboo? So these are HR platforms where you could actually be the expert in that. And so when you go to apply for an HR position at a company, you could be working in that platform because that's what they're going to be using.
Yeah, so I actually am certified in Workday. For my past 2 internships, I used it, and then I went ahead and got the certificate. And even that isn't enough to get me through the front door. I mean, jobs will label something as an entry level, but then still expect 2-3 years of experience. And so essentially the job market just hates a new grad who has all the experience and the certificates.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Is there anybody that either you or somebody in the family knows who owns their own company that would be an entry level for you, would be a way for you to get at least your foot in the door?
Or what about a smaller business?
Smaller business too.
That isn't going to be able to even think of you replacing people with AI, or not able to afford it. It's cheaper for them to actually have a person there who's going to do more things.
We do know a few people in our family who do own small businesses, and I have had some internships with a few small businesses because they are looking for someone who is willing to take the lower pay. But unfortunately, with those types of positions, especially here in Kansas City, Missouri, our minimum wage is really low, but the living is still high. We're an up-and-coming city, and so those positions are offering maybe $16 an hour.
Oof.
And
that's tough.
Yeah, that's
hard.
Correct. Yeah, and that is hard, especially when I'm paying the lowest rent in the city, and I still, with that salary, I would still have to work 2 other jobs to make my life work.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You're in a tough spot. You are 100%. There's the messy stuff that AI can't touch, and in that this is a up and coming field in HR because, AI can't fire somebody. It's hard for AI to talk to somebody to put them on a PIP plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're calling themselves employee relations.
Yes.
And so if you could build out your LinkedIn, I'd really play heavy into LinkedIn. Really push your LinkedIn profile to make it optimized, posting about HR trends, connecting with recruiters daily, connecting with anybody that you can think of, and asking questions and knowing that, you don't want to put a link in your LinkedIn post because then that won't be seen. That's why it's always in the first comment, that those type of little games that you want to play. But you are driven, I can tell, and you're smart, I can tell. You're a great communicator because you are. And you're going to have to pivot, and you have Workday. Maybe you start looking at the SuccessFactors, look at ADP. And in addition to that, there's a flip side to it, Grace, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is that these AI companies are hiring specialists to teach their AI how to do various professions. And so companies like ChatGPT, Anthropic, Microsoft, all the rest, Gemini, they're actually hiring people to where you would be the person to say, yes, that answer is correct, or no, that is not correct. And sometimes they're paying people on Wall Street $1,000 an hour. They're paying doctors $100 an hour. So maybe you'd be in there at $30 an hour.
So you're saying she could go train the chatbot to take the next job she wants.
I know it sounds crazy, but
It's a little backwards, but I understand what you're saying.
that's why I said I prefaced the whole thing. I did. Prefaced the whole thing saying, this is going to sound a little out there, but that's where, but you I'm really glad that you called, Grace, because so many people are sitting in the same position that you spent years of your life learning. And now the other thing that you can do is what my son did, is you start your own company.
Are you willing to fund that?
Grandpa says yes.
Why are you putting your finger on the mute button, Kim?
No, she's asking her grandfather to
I
fund
thought she was
it.
asking you.
No,
I'll take both. I mean, shoot.
Love that. No, seriously, think about that. Think about something that you want to do, that you'd be good at it. Obviously, you are a people person. What could that be? What could you do that won't be replaced by AI, that you have a belief in? And so, like, my son's 25, graduated from USC, came to work for the studios afterwards, because he said that crunching real estate finance spreadsheets was death. And he got a degree in real estate development and finance, and figured out that what he really liked was health and wellness and taking care of himself. And he started a supplement company. And I funded it, just putting my hand up. Ron, putting my hand up. So you just sometimes have to think outside the box. Grace, if you need any help afterwards, just call me back. I'm always here for you. Hey, look, you can spend 20 minutes reading tech news from 10 different sites, or you can let me do it for you. And that's The Current. It's my free daily newsletter. Almost 1 million folks get my 5-star rated newsletter every single day, and you can sign up right now over at getkim.com. That's getkim.com. We have more of the show coming right up. Now, you hear me talk about NetSuite all of the time on the show. Well, I'm about to introduce you to someone who actually lives it every single day. I was so lucky. I had the chance to sit down with the CEO of Happy Products, and he's going to flat out tell you he could not run his business without NetSuite. Here, take a listen. All right, small business owners, I want you to really listen to this one. You know that bright green Hello toothpaste? Well, a gentleman by the name of Craig Dubitsky actually built that, and he sold it to Colgate. And those little EOS lip balm spheres that took over every checkout line in America, guess what? That was also Craig. Now he's teamed up with Robert Downey Jr. to launch Happy. It's a coffee brand partnering with NAMI to support mental health. And let me tell you something. Craig knows how to build brands that people love. And he'll be the first to tell you that passion only gets you so far, because at some point you really need systems that work. You really need to see your numbers, your inventory, the whole operation in one place, not buried in a bunch of spreadsheets. And that's why Craig built Happy on NetSuite from day one. You see, it handles financials, inventory, supply chain, so he can focus on creating companies. Okay, coffee. I mean, come on, Craig. I mean, there's a lot of competition in all those spaces.
Yes, I'm attracted to commodity categories. I don't think there's such a thing as a boring category. I like the everyday, and I think the magic comes in figuring out how you can elevate the everyday, whether that's through design, storytelling, people.
Okay, so then what is that magic? What's that little potion that you're bringing to coffee with Happy?
Let's start with the obvious, which is it's called Happy. We trademarked the word happy. I like to say we're not in the coffee business, we're in the happy business, and that's not just a euphemism. We want to create something that people don't just transact with and buy. We want to create something that they join. And you do that by creating a brand that stands for things. In fact, we have more than one special relationship in the mental health area. And we have this relationship with NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is the largest grassroots mental health organization in the United States. So what can we do that's a little bit different? The coffee, I can talk to you about coffee, not only because they're well caffeinated, but for hours on end. But the other stuff that was important to us was how can we also reimagine the relationship between entrepreneurship and philanthropy? So we decided to partner with NAMI in an interesting way, and we literally gave NAMI a piece of our company.
Let's switch gears one more time, and let's talk about building a business. How would you explain to the average business owner who's been using QuickBooks or spreadsheets or something like that?
So first of all, kudos to anybody who starts a business, because if anyone appreciates how difficult it is, I'm right there. I know how hard this stuff is. And if you spend too much time on the nuts and bolts part of your business, as important as it is, again, I'm not discounting how important the fundamentals are, but you could get lost in the minutia and actually miss out on the reality around you that could really be driving your business, whether that's how to recruit and retain people, whether that's how to go make more sales, whether that's how to make sure your brand, if it's a brand, is firing on all the cylinders it needs to again, from day zero, we were like, we're building this thing on NetSuite because it helps us keep track of everything from inventory, what our costs look like, what is the flow not only of cash in and out of the business, but the cash we need on hand to buy more inventory of individual componentry. It literally helps us keep our fingers on the pulse of everything.
So you mentioned that NetSuite saved your bacon. What happened there?
Well, our last business, Hello, which was lucky enough, it's an oral care company. If you haven't seen it or tried it, it's really an amazing product. I have one at my desk all the time. Hello grew and became the fastest growing oral care brand in North America. We were growing so fast that we literally broke another well-known financial platform software.
Okay.
We literally broke it. And we were at the highest level of internal IT support within that company because they'd never seen anything like this. And again, it was a combination of retail, fulfillment, supply chain management, e-commerce growth, like you name it. We were literally every single cylinder that your business could be hammering on. So we made the switch to NetSuite, and we literally migrated our entire business off of one platform onto NetSuite. And we did it over a weekend, and it was flawless and seamless, and we never looked back. We never had a hiccup or an issue. And that's why I'm such a staunch believer, because our business was growing so fast. And when you're moving at hyper speed and like the wheels fall off, that is not good. So when I say they saved our bacon, we were able to re-platform our entire business over a weekend and once again take control of our finances, supply chain, like everything that made the business run.
Oh, Craig, thank you so much for sharing your story with me and for all of us. I personally, I want to go buy some happy coffee now, just saying.
You know, by the way, I'm not like paid to do this. I love NetSuite. I said to NetSuite, but you know, I love NetSuite. You guys saved our bacon in my last company and I'm using you again in this company. And if you guys ever need somebody to wax poetic and rhapsodic about the magic of NetSuite, I am your poster child.
Thank you for being here. And folks, if you have not checked out NetSuite, they're actually offering a free business guide. It's called Demystifying AI. It kind of walks you through, how you can use NetSuite for your business and really how AI is really taking your business operations and NetSuite to the next level to make those decisions. As Craig said, it's almost like having a psychic inside your business. And you can check it out right now and get the free guide over at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. You just heard Craig say it, and I'm going to tell you something that I have never, ever said here on the show. After I had the chance to sit down with Craig and I heard how he's using NetSuite, we're switching. Yes, here at the Kim Komando Show, we are switching from QuickBooks to NetSuite. And let me tell you, I'm really looking forward to all the reporting features that NetSuite's going to offer, and also streamlining some tasks, getting more insights into the data that runs my business. And if this sounds interesting to you, really, check it out. Go to netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. We have more of the show coming right up. All right, so many folks are concerned about where their products are coming from. Was it manufactured in China? Are they following me? Are they tracking? Are they getting everything that I do? If that concerns you, rightfully so, there's a website that you need to check out. It's productfrom.com. Once again, that's productfrom.com. And just a quick reminder that our February cash grab is still underway, and you should enter to win right now. Go to winfromkim.com. That's winfromkim.com. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope you had a great time, and I hope you learned just a few things, and maybe you groaned at just, one or two bad jokes. So I need a quick favor. Wherever you get your podcasts, just leave a fabulous 5-star review. You know why? Because it helps other people find the show, and it also makes me do a happy dance. Yes, and you want that, don't you?
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.